Welcome back to Dead Alliance. Let's check out the fatalities.
Yes, the hit or miss fatalities of this game.
What I show, please.
A lot more miss than hit. And you know what? This is actually one of the better ones.
Yeah, the belly flop of that Murray does in the Sly games.
The belly flop of doom.
So Cyrex's fatality.
He eats them?
More like meat grind. Again, there is a bit of potential, but the first sequence goes way too long, and then the actual grinding is a bit of a letdown.
Man, talk
Let me
about
put it
beating
like this.
meat.
Let me put it
And
like
that's it.
this. Let me put it like this. This game feels like the inverse of Dual Destinies. Like, for as hit or miss as some people may consider the later Ace Attorney games to be, if there's one thing that the 3D Ace Attorney games did well was going over the top with the animations, with the transition of using models instead of sprites.
Yeah, like that clown girl everybody loves.
Yes.
And
there was that.
and that's it. That's Frost's fatality. And just like in and here's the thing: every character only has one fatality. So we went back to the MK1 days, of sorts, where.
Well, okay. Technically, they always had only one fate. Well, no, true. That
No,
No,
was the
starting with two. Each character had two fatalities.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a good point.
Wait, he's still
he'll
alive?
walk it off.
Oh.
Alright, C-Drax.
Okay, one positive thing I will say when it comes to the fatalities of the PS2 trilogy, whenever you're in fatality time in these games, you can move to alternate to a fourth fighting style called fatality, which means that your moves will not hurt. You will not do any move aside from fatality, meaning you can push in all the necessary buttons for the fatality without hitting the enemy by accident. So that's actually a nice touch. I will give it that. Too bad the fatalities themselves are not very good. So you go. So yeah, Kano once again. This time instead of stealing the okay, 2 kidneys, I guess.
Now the liver, and now the kidneys.
Kano wins.
First the heart,
Hey,
then
beautiful.
the stomach or the liver, and then the kidneys.
That doesn't
I
make
don't know.
that doesn't make any sense. But
Because
whatever.
the Black Dragon are organ harvesters, I guess.
Also, I'm not really fond of
Explode.
the fatality music.
Explode.
Fatality music's kind of lame too.
Yeah, it is. Explode! Explode, Chansung! Explode! And he didn't explode. Like seriously, so much. Seriously, so much build up for that.
He squeezed out his eyes.
And of course, Katana has the kiss of death again.
In time now, game.
Okay.
There you go.
There you go.
This again, most of the fatalities are awkward in this game.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. At least Kung Lao still has his classic hat thing.
Which again,
You know,
okay.
you should have played the 007.
Unfortunately, it's a
It
shame.
must suck on the alt of his that doesn't have a hat.
It's a shame because usually Kung Lao's hat fatalities are always some of the best. Then there you go. That's Liam May's fatality. I guess.
More like Liam. It's terrible.
There's a lot of overlap in these fatalities.
Okay, Pedro, I thought you said that these fatalities were much better. So far, I'm not really that impressed.
I said they're much better. When did I say that?
I thought you did.
No, I did not. I actually said
What the fuck is this?
right from the beginning.
Me too.
Right from the beginning of this playthrough, I said that for Mortal Kombat Dead Alliance has perhaps the worst fatalities of the series. So sorry,
Looney
Edge.
Tunes to you.
Unless maybe you're referring on a technical level in a sense that the models look better, but that's a stretch.
I said that for free. I don't think that's what I said. That.
There are no models in free.
Well, I'm talking about fatalities.
Okay, we'll say this. At least, even
I don't
if
know.
it's simple,
I don't know.
at least,
This one
at
is
least-
kind of hot.
at least Nitara's fatality is fine. Not spectacular, but
And
fine.
yeah, Quan Chi had the best fatality in 4. In here, he does this,
It's just a prank, bro.
What?
Like
This
I
feels like
said,
a friendship.
Turns him into a giraffe.
How is this even a fatality?
like I said, guys, Looney Tunes.
All right,
Yeah, but Warner Brothers don't own the IP yet.
all right. At least Raiden's fatality is fine.
Fried to a crisp.
Yeah,
It's
that,
one of the more. It's one of the more spectacular one in terms of giving a
And
big
it-
flashy boom.
at least it doesn't go on for long. All right, Reptile. So let's see what you have.
I'm not sure if I've asked this here.
Hold on.
Yeah.
I know that a whole bunch of people love the series, but I don't know anyone who really plays this game competitively.
Well, that's the thing, Dej.
Mortal Kombat is kind of a stigma when it comes to the FGC. It's deemed too simple for their taste. In recent years, it has changed a bit, but not much.
And yeah, okay, I will give it credit for the first time ever Scorpion uses his spear in one of his fatalities. That's a really cool idea. Unfortunately, it's just him tearing off the opponent's head. I mean, it's not a very... But I guess at the very least it's a nice fight.
Like I said, loads of overlap in these fatalities.
Alright, so Shensong, what do you have?
Really?
This again, I
You
guess.
think he would just, drain them, but no, he slams them.
There you go, now he's draining. Kind of. Alright, Sonya, let's go. Oh, the flaming kid. Oh, not really.
It makes you puke your
I
guts
guess
out?
she has bad breath.
Okay, so he pukes so much that he... Oh,
And again with the slam. I get the idea that's one of the
And
best
welcome to the jam.
mock-up moves that they had disposal. Right, let's just recycle it.
alright, Sub-Zero. Alright, that's actually...
Ow!
That's like the one. Oh, there you go. That's the one cool fatality in this game. Like, he didn't just rip his spine. He rips his entire skeleton, taking it to the next level. All right, let's check out all the endings now.
The hunt for Quan Chi had led Scorpion to the palace of Shang Tsung.
Oh, they're just still images.
Well, that's how the. Well, that's the thing. I guess they blew their budget in the rest of the game. I don't know.
Previously encountered while in the Nether Realm. Shang Tsung had secretly allied with Moloch and Draman as a
I mean, they're voiced at least.
Quan Chi. The two Oni had been hidden in an underground chamber and were periodically fed mortals to keep them satisfied. Scorpion fought well, but was overpowered by Moloch and Draman.
No
Although they
touchy.
could not consume the ninja specter, they devised another means.
And then
for
the skeletons
eliminating
were
their
mocking
foe
him,
with
saying,
success.
"Get over here!"
The Oni brought Scorpion before the portal to the heavens that Shang Tsung had tapped as a source of limitless souls. They hurled him into the Soulnado, and his hellspawn body was
Soulnado,
ripped
yes.
apart by the purity of that
Yes.
realm.
It's gonna give Sharknado a run for its money, I'm sure.
So yeah, Scorpion's ending is a downer, but that's okay. Jax's
It will get better.
ending is cool because he kills Su Hao.
Jax had a score
So
to settle with the traitor he knew as Su Hao. Now revealed to be a member of the Red Dragon, Su Hao had infiltrated the Special Forces Outer World Investigation Agency and destroyed it with a miniature
nuclear weapon.
Yeah, I remember it was mentioned in the bio.
On his promise, Jax eventually caught up with Su Hao and ripped the implant from his chest in retribution. Su Hao died a most painful death.
Wish we could have seen it, but alas.
Okay, now
Next.
Shansung's ending.
The Deadly Alliance was successful in reviving the mummified remains of the Dragon King's undefeatable army. Shang Tsung, however, began to realize that his relevance in the partnership had evaporated once his talents for
Shit.
soul transplantation were no longer needed. The balance of power within the Deadly Alliance had seemingly been undone. Fearing
Oopsie.
betrayal, he secretly instructed Kano to steal Quan Chi's amulet in an attempt to gain control of the army. Since part of the soul transfer spell included the command to obey he who possesses the amulet, the army would obey only Shang Tsung and not Quan Chi once the amulet was in his possession.
Brilliant.
Amulet in hand, Shang Tsung revealed his betrayal to Quan Chi and commanded the army to destroy
Plot
the
twist. It
sorcerer.
turns out Quan Chi probably
Shang Tsung
wasn't
would
going to
succeed
betray
where others
him.
had failed. He would conquer the
Nah, he would,
rest.
Jova. Quan Chi is a fucking asshole.
That's also
Oh, I know.
yeah. That's also
Well, I
another
know
thing.
that, but imagine the twist being that this would have been the one time Quan Chi wouldn't have betrayed him because he finally learned his lesson, only to have somebody betray him.
That's also another thing. For these endings, we're going back to just being narrated what's going on instead of being the characters actually talk with each other.
It's a step down from 4 in terms of the presentation of the endings. Yes.
I get the idea behind it. They probably wanted again to have a return to form, to the classic book formula, but I do believe it is a step down.
Which is ironic because in a lot of other ways, this game is pretty much a step
be
up
fair-
from 4, but
To be fair, even 9, 10, and 11 do this thing where there is they're like they're not full blown
Okay.
cutscenes. They're just anime.
No, what I was referring to was that the characters in those actually talk, Maybe there is a strong narration, but it's mostly the characters talking and telling what they're gonna do or having dialogue. So it only happens with the narration where the character in question normally doesn't talk, like say Jason or is in X.
Peacefully. Earthrealm was safe once more, but
So there you go. Kung Lao avenges Liu Kang.
the work of the White Lotus Society had become more important than ever.
So what's the canon story for this game?
The beginning of Deception reveals that none.
Brilliant.
so essentially.
So this game was pointless.
Well, it's more so it was a stepping stone for what will happen next. But yeah, the most canon I can find to you is Raiden's ending, and even then.
Pretty much.
Victorious, the true purpose behind the tournament was finally revealed to her. Her soul would be the last one Shang Tsung needed to completely revive the Dragon King's lost army.
Again, never trust a duo of evil
Her
sorcerers.
people would never be freed. And
So
Li Mei
yeah,
herself
Li
would
Mei's
remain
story
trapped
is
inside
completely
the mummified
pointless.
remains of a dead soldier.
She becomes one of the souls trapped in the Dragon King's
Have a
army.
nice day.
Have
I
a
mean,
ni-
when you get down to it, Li Mei is kind of a useless character in that regard.
Oh, she is.
Congrats! Congrats! You succeeded in playing yourself, at best.
Kenshi had finally caught up with Shang Tsung in Outworld. Years ago, Kenshi had been manipulated.
I guess to be
into
fair, Mortal
releasing the souls of
Kombat,
his
I
warrior
think every Mortal
ancestors.
Kombat game at some point has had that, at least that one character who nobody really likes or is really vying to come back.
But the sword of his ancestors led
Well,
him
all
to
of-
Except for
the depths.
11.
Well, all the characters in 1 became major staples.
Kenshi had vowed
Well,
to
okay,
free his
aside from
ancestors who
1
were
because,
captive.
you know,
He cut Shang
that's
Tsung
sort of the
down
big
with his
mark. But
ancestral
yeah,
sword,
aside from
and a
1
blast
and
of
I think
souls was instantly
11,
released.
every Mortal Kombat game has had at least one character who nobody really likes.
Okay, not necessarily not everybody likes it, but I can tell you, Jova, nobody really cares about Collector in 11.
Not really.
I mean,
Alright, Collector.
it's not again technically bad. People just don't care about him.
Yeah, I get that.
So let's see what happened to
Collector
Cyrex.
is kinda
Will
nice.
Cyrex finally be able to return to Earth?
Gee, trusting a vamp lady, I don't know.
Hey man, look, Resident Evil 8 fans know where it's at.
Searching for the old
Also,
Mutara
Cyrax, you're kind of stepping a bit into the lava, you know.
A small submerged
Yeah.
vessel beneath the molten depths.
But it's okay, because he's a
As soon as
cyborg.
he
That'll
clambered to
totally
the
keep him
surface,
safe from
she
it.
It's not like you can melt.
the orb. Nitara had promised to return Cyrax to Earthrealm once the orb had been retrieved. Taking her necklace in hand, she uttered a mystical incantation. A swirling portal opened around Cyrax. had he only
What was the
had time to
incantation?
summon
Fuck you all.
Before he
Vatu, Varata, Nick. I can't remember the last bit.
Well, at least Nitara fulfilled her another bargain. So there you go,
At
Tail.
least on the surface, we don't know if it was like another dimension or something.
Su Hao reported to his superior, Movado, and informed him of his success in destroying the Special Forces Outer World Investigation Agency. Movado then informed Su Hao of his next objective. It seemed that Quan Chi was proving to be a powerful ally.
Loving the pose.
And was willing to aid
Hey.
the Red Dragon in his quest for domination of Earth. In a show of good
Now
faith,
go forth,
the
my
battle
son.
agreed to destroy
Go
Quan
forth
Chi's
and fulfill
enemies.
your destiny.
The
I will,
sorcerer
father.
suspected the killer of Shang Tsung. There was evidence.
Like,
that
oh my
Shang Tsung
god,
had
like,
allied
did
with the two
the
owners
Shani
of
Chu
this
comic
Milwaukee
literally get that from this?
Su Hao's new orders were to eliminate the sorcerer Shang Tsung before the Oni eliminated Quan Chi. After the destruction of the Deadly Alliance, Sonya searched for the missing Special Forces agent Kenshi. She finally discovered him, badly beaten and near death, apparently from hook-like wounds in his ribcage.
No, it was that blindfold there that was killing him.
I transported them back to Earthrealm. Upon her return, Sonya was promoted to general and given.
Yeah, this is also what happens by the time you reach 10.
Picked a team to deal with new terrorist threats.
The 10's a
located on
different
Earth,
timeline.
while an
Oh yeah, but 10, the new timeline retells a lot of the same plot beats.
I also kind of dig Sonya's commander white outfit.
Nifty.
Alright, and now, alright, we already saw Raiden's ending, so let's skip it. Frost's ending, so let's see what's Frost's ultimate agenda.
As they traveled back to the portal that would return them to Earthrealm, Sub-Zero revealed to Frost that she had been an integral part in the destruction of the Deadly Alliance, and that he was proud to have her as a member of the Lin Kuei clan. But
Picture
unknown
says
to
otherwise.
Sub-Zero, Frost's true intention for joining the Lin Kuei was to become Grandmaster herself.
Some
She
things
used
never
her ice
change.
blast to temporarily immobilize him and rip the dragon medallion from his chest. As she held the medallion, she felt power surge through her body.
And then it
Lacking
killed her.
strength and discipline
It freezes her more
to
like.
control the medallion
This also
and
ties in
power.
into where she is in the conquest mode of Armageddon.
Ability.
What an idiot.
Karma.
She didn't have enough experience to control the powers of the medallion. Well, sucks for you, Frost. Let's check Quan Chi's ending.
You brought this upon yourself.
The Deadly Alliance was successful in reviving the mummified remains of the Dragon King's undefeatable army. It would appear that nothing could stand in the way of Shang Tsung and Quan Chi as they began their domination of the
But-
realms. Unfortunately for Shang Tsung, however,
Yeah,
Quan
turns
Chi
out
had
Quan
no
Chi
further
would have
need for
betrayed him.
partnership.
Then some.
Once Shang Tsung had finally revived the last of the mummified warriors, Quan Chi closed the portal to the heavens and effectively shut off Shang Tsung's endless supply of souls.
You know, with Saint
To assassinate Shang Tsung in a surprise weapon attack. With their captor cut wide open, the thousands of souls Shang Tsung had consumed in the past spewed forth and swirled around the room. Quan Chi came to the realization that if Kano could so easily turn on Shang Tsung, he could also turn on
So I must
Quan Chi.
kill him
Quan
too.
Chi used his sorcery to drain the life from Kano and left his body where it fell. Immediately, one of the lingering souls shot into Kano's body. To Quan Chi's surprise, the man standing before him was no longer the black dragon thug known as Kano.
Who could it
Kano's
be?
body now contained the soul
Ah.
of the Shaolin monk, Liu Kang.
The irony.
That must be awkward.
It's,
Well, I guess
it's
I guess I'm Kano now.
Might.
Oh my, so Liu Kang is Kano. That would be something interesting to explain to Sonya. Sonya, don't try and kill me. I'm actually Liu Kang.
Also, my mother is going full 300 on this.
Rivals, the Black
Yeah,
Dragon.
well. So they're gonna believe him in time, though.
This is the Red Dragon.
In this task.
No?
In return for eliminating
Don't you see? Everyone's gonna remember the Red Dragon and forget about you, pesky Black Dragon.
Totally.
Black Dragon.
Alright.
After a long, brutal fight,
I mean, I'm not against trying to sometimes retcon an established organization to have been serving a higher power. It worked out with Cortex and Uka Uka. But man, the Red Dragon thing just seems to try
to be fair,
hard.
there was really nothing.
That's the thing. That's the thing, Joe. But nobody gives a shit about the Red Dragon. Really?
No.
Not really.
There is a hint
Oh,
of a
pretty
good
much.
storyline in later games, mostly tied to Kenshi, you know, as a personal revenge, but that's pretty much it.
Oh, trust me, I'm right there with you. Like like I said, the Red Dragon just feel like a try-hard attempt to go, oh, guys, let's do the Black Dragon, but even more awesome.
Johnny Cage is ending.
Johnny Kage.
Johnny
What are
Cage
you
is
doing,
His
Johnny?
adventures had been portrayed in the past. Johnny Cage found a loophole in his contract and left
Damn it.
MCM Studios during the production of Mortal Kombat: The Death of Johnny Cage. He then used his own money to fund the production of his next movie, which is rumored to be the true story of his latest adventures in Outworld.
So what are you gonna call it?
Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat: The Alliance.
Broke all records first
That's so unimaginative as a title.
Deadly Alliance, huh?
I love how
John.
I love how Sonya like
He's grasping his leg. Like those Flash Gordon posters of the 40s.
yeah.
And then after the movie comes out, Sonya comes over and punches Johnny in the face and says no.
You're
and
too
then later
generous,
they
good Edge. She prefers to punch him in the nuts.
And then they bang.
Alright, so Kitana's
And then
ending.
Cassie disappears from the timeline after that.
Was defeated with the help of warriors from Earth.
This ending is probably well, actually, maybe somewhat canon, maybe not.
Right for Kitana. Saddened by the death of Goro, she attended a ceremony in the Kuotan Palace to honor her fallen friend.
If only Kung Lao wasn't such an idiot.
Following Shokan tradition, Prince Goro's body was lowered into the molten
Yeah, to be
rock
fair,
contained
yeah,
within throne
the
itself.
Shokan have kind of a metal way for funerals.
She also held a moment of silence for Liu Kang and secretly wished.
Oh
he
yeah,
had
Liu
joined
Kang,
her in
hello.
So yeah. Remember, Kitana asked him if he wanted to join her in Edenia as her king. Well, there you go, Liu Kang. I guess maybe you should have accepted.
You
Liu
probably
Kang.
You should have
You
listened to her.
Despite the
you should have taken the route.
All right. This ending is actually canon, as demonstrated in the next game.
There
Actually,
was no sign of
The
him,
irony.
except for some scattered glass shards and a residual trace of strong magical energies. His revenge would have to wait. Suddenly, an expectant hush filled the chamber as energy cascaded around what appeared to be a dragon embryo. The tiny dragon stretched, and the egg cracked. A beam of energy ripped out from inside and lanced into Reptile. His world was filled with a roaring power as his squamous body was twisted and transformed.
Into what, though?
The ancient prophecy had been fulfilled. The Dragon King had returned.
Yeah, turns out the army had a master.
there you go. The Dragon King has returned, and we'll see that in the beginning of the next game. All right. So Nitara, let's see what her ending is. Yeah, of course. So basically, we're going to see the same ending, but from her perspective.
Cyrax finally emerged from the lava, holding.
Oh, there goes Siteo. He emerged from the lava. Apparently,
I guess the Link Wave, designed the cyborgs to be lava-proof.
able to
Thank goodness.
how do you even,
Cyrax a simp for her.
how do you even make something lava-proof?
Cyrax
He just really wants to go back home dead.
Cobalt? That's usually resistant.
I guess.
stared into the orb. It seethed with the power trapped within. She raised it up
Okay, now
and then
that's nice,
Can
but
you please,
can you please send me back to Earth like we agreed upon? Maybe.
soul-rending howl.
I'm not a woman of my word, Cyrax. All deals are off.
She awoke later for the first time on her native soil.
So basically, both Nitara and Cyrax kinda have happy endings, surprisingly.
Yay!
All right,
I mean, that's the thing. Despite her appearance, Nitara does not come off as a bad guy in this game.
surprisingly not. You'd think she would, but I guess not.
Confronted Quan Chi, enraged that he had tried to leave them stranded in the bowels of the Netherrealm.
See, I told you Quan Chi was an asshole.
Ensued,
You know, I just love the fact that when Shang Tsung betrays him, he does it expertly so that he still has Kano and everything on his side. But when Quan Chi does his thing of trying to betray everyone, he ends up reviving quite possibly the greatest threat to all of his plans, Liu Kang. Like, the guy is such a screw up with that
I guess
stuff.
the Odis are probably some of the worst of the new editions of his game. They're so lame.
So in Sub-Zero's ending, Frost died in battle. Or sorry, severely injured.
Frost. A short time later, I visited the temple.
There you go. See, the narrator is also Raiden, it seems.
And to express my gratitude for all.
It's weird. The light's created differently, though.
I guess. Okay, I think the narrator is still a different guy. It's just that the guy voicing Raiden in game is someone different.
Maybe,
the weird thing is that
it's kind of like wait, I'm trying to think. The first trailer for Injustice 2.
Okay, you see Boraicho probably is gonna get wasted.
Yeah.
With their victory over the Deadly Alliance complete, he and Kung Lao had liberated Outworld from its latest threat.
give it a few weeks, it'll be in trouble again.
Yeah, basically.
Student, his skills had proven useful once more. He was elated, but it would be inappropriate to express such emotions in front of his newest apprentice. Kung Lao invited his master to return with him to Earthrealm to teach more warriors at the Wuxi Academy.
This will also explain his deeds in the next games as well.
First time, a clear purpose in life. Boraicho offered only token resistance. He accepted the offer because the defenders of Earthrealm could certainly use his help. But
and for another reason.
Because Earthrealm's rights line put Outworld to shame.
Yes, Boraicho loves to just get wasted.
Yeah, and not to mention, Boraicho fits much better Earthrealm than in Outworld because he's not an asshole. So
I don't know, man. This realm has jerks here.
Well, every realm has them.
Yeah, just look at the Black Dragons. They exist.
The outcome would be different.
I guess when you get down to it,
I mean, okay. On that note, that remember again, every realm might have jerks, but at least as the ending says, Earthrealm has the better liquor for him.
Yeah.
Not only that, but Earthrealm is not nearly as bloodthirsty as
Outworld.
Outworld.
That we know.
And apparently, as far as the actual native knows, since he chose Earthrealm.
Just have to remember that later games will sort of retcon that Outward is a thing that, absorbs other realms that gets defeated.
So, Blaze's ending.
Having been enslaved,
I'm on fire! Wait.
An incubation chamber. Blaze was finally freed once the dragon egg had hatched. He then resumed the quest he had undertaken before being subdued by his captors.
And
that's it.
That's it, apparently. Well, Mocap's ending, which is not voice acted for some reason. Mocap
Man was the primary martial arts talent for motion capture during the production.
Oh, how nice.
Of Johnny Cage's movie based on recent events in Outworld. He was referred to the game's designers at Midway Games and used in the production of the video game adaptation of the movie. The end.
Also, kill Vogel? Kano, why?
Why do you want to kill John Vogel, Kano? Come on.
He's done nothing wrong. Come on, man.
Alright.
That's why he has to do it. Ed Boon said so.
Alright, so let's check the extras. Alright, so the extras have a shit ton of pictures and some videos for us to watch. Let me just Carlos Pezina. Yeah, that's Carlos. There you go. That's Carlos Pezina. There you go.
Repertoire photo.
Lifeguard Sonia.
Good for Baywatch.
Yeah. Great Dragon Egg. There you go. Quan Chi on the sax. MK's Venture, Polo Figures, Action Figure, Ed Boon, Mythology. No, I don't want to watch more mythologies.
Why not? It's there.
Scarlet, what is she doing here?
She's
She's auditioning for Black Widow.
She's preparing for her debut in 9-2. It's gonna be a while still, but
Yeah, that would be for another 9 years, was it?
Yeah, and
This
she's DLC.
Was this was in 2002, wasn't it?
yes.
So, yeah, 9 years.
Okay, 2 characters, Deadly Alliance coins. Oh yeah, I forgot. Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance also introduced the Krypt, which is now a Mortal Kombat staple. Which is the more coins you get, the more unlockables you'll be able to get.
Oh no, the Malibu comics. No, go away. Whoosh.
The John Tobias. This was the comic that was actually written and drawn by John Tobias.
I don't hate it.
I don't really like the artwork. I'm sorry.
Basically, this comic tells of the times before the first tournament, specifically where the story of the original Kung Lao. So basically, you can actually read the entire story in here in Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance. The comic was included here. However, we're not gonna read it because the ending of 11 pretty much tells us that we're apparently going to now retell that story. Apparently, so
Again, it's also hilarious how each of the spin-off side material of MK wanted to claim to be the first in the timeline.
there you go. That's how the original Kung Lao looked like.
But although the only exception was Defenders of the Realm, which wanted to be a continuation of MK2.
Also, Shang Tsung's original outfit from years ago.
Again, because to not to disperse any other doubt, but it was supposed to be a pastiche of Fu Manchu.
So there you go. Eventually, Kung Lao was killed by Goro, and Goro became the champion that Liu Kang would later defeat in Mortal Kombat 1.
Surprisingly tame killing for Goro's taste. Usually, it tends to be a bit more undelicate.
Probably because the publisher wouldn't allow the comic to be too violent.
Yeah, again, the only other experience with Malibu comics that I had was their Street Fighter 1, and again, they're just terrible.
Well, these. Alright, so there go. We have also the arenas, concept art, view sketches, renders, and videos. Okay, let's check what these concept. It says concept art, but it's actually a content gallery. It's weird. Anyway, let's see what else we have here. Senate of the Older Gods, concept characters, Mavado catches. We're not going to show everything because there's a shit ton of shit to unlock in the Krypt. So we'd be here all day if I showed everything. So let's just show what I think are the coolest things. We have we have cooking with Scorpion.
Yay!
Let's see.
This week on Cooking with Scorpion, learn about chopping, tenderizing, chopping, cake decorating, and chopping.
Oops.
I'm surprised this show wasn't called Get Over Here or something. Or, I don't know.
Come cook over here. Alright, what else? Official on the mission test. Let's see. Oh, sorry, never mind. I think that's the thing. I don't remember. It's been a while since I recorded this, so I don't remember my exact thoughts. Let's check out the making of the game itself. What you are about to see was filmed over a period of 15 hours.
This looks like the beginning of a horror movie.
Not that that's important information, but whatever. It is one single day in the making of Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance. So, Ed, why don't you talk to us about, lead us through a day of development, why not? At Midway Amusement Games in LLC presents a Midway Home Entertainment Incorporated production. And here's a truck.
Oh, a city
Okay.
Mortal Kombat Unseen.
Spoopy.
And
Also a nice car.
And Ed just arrived at work.
Trying to get it as early as possible. Most of the other guys in the team work late into the night. And in the morning I can get a few uninterrupted hours to program in the characters' moves and plan things out for the rest of the day.
Well, he takes his hat off, basically throws it, sticks in the other guy's face, then he kind of staggers it for a little while.
Oh yeah, I'm sure fans will love.
They're twitching, and Kung Lao comes there and he lifts his
Yeah,
foot
pretty
up,
much.
I don't.
steps on the guy's stomach, the hat flies up, he grabs it, and goes into like a
Yes, Trevor? Oh, sorry.
If I recall correctly, I think for the times, fans... I don't recall there really being too much big outcry about the lacking in the fatality department, probably because, I guess for the time it came out, the technology looked more amazing.
Yeah, it was probably more impressive back then, but yeah, watching it now, they haven't really aged well at all.
Oh yeah. By now, I have heard more people air their grievances with the lacking fatalities, but back when this first came out, people were mainly fine with it. I mean, especially given all the new tech they were working with.
If only there was a behind-the-scenes video of when Ed Boon had to say the line, "This is not a brutality, it's a fatality."
Well, that's a making
really?
up of war. Anyway,
Yeah.
props.
Taped up, so when we capture, the time
There you go. Carlos is the one.
Alpha,
Carlos probably uses these all the time.
Sai,
the regular broadsword. There's
the one used by
Broadsword.
Quan Chi.
everywhere else. Welcome to Vogelland.
And here's John Vogel.
I'm doing Shang Tsung's fatality.
Can't see shit. Oh, okay.
It's like I think souls come out, and go into Shang Tsung each time, or each time they go up in the air. I'm not quite sure how it's going to work. I just know what I have to do animation-wise. And Ed's going to say, okay, now the souls come out. Now they don't. Can you show me where she makes impact? Where she kicks in? Right here, you can stop. You don't even need him to do anything. Don't even have him do any impact. This, you can animate so she, the impact repels her away. It's like a jerk like that. Or we can do it in the game.
Every detail counts.
Again, it's interesting how they go through the concept phase towards the actual animation. Also, I wonder what copyright was on that shirt.
Tony's actually doing the bloody stumps and bloody pieces.
I do a lot of the whatever effects is needed for someone that they're getting.
It's called Gibbs.
Yes, I will use that term from now on. The whatever.
So you get 2 in 1 here. You get a lot of good use of texture space.
What experience do you have that would qualify you as motion capture talent?
I just realized something.
You're not a man of the long words.
You're hired.
This was the acid bath. This is a concept drawing, and basically these statues here that have these churning bowls of acid inside it. It's kind of like a Buddha, but demonized a little or something. It's a close-up of head study. They would just gush out this.
Do they still use this building for
their mouth.
Probably not. You have to remember that when Midway actually went to bankrupt, they probably, when NetherRealm Studio instead was founded as a result from Ed Boon, they probably changed the location.
Yeah.
There's no way we can know.
Mortal Kombat 1 had 1 programmer, 2 artists, and a sound designer. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
4 guys. Whereas on Deadly Alliance, we have a team of over 50 people. We've been lucky enough to get some of the most talented people in the video game business. And on any given day, it's amazing.
They're in Chicago, apparently.
Worked on at the same time. A lot of what I do involves non-stop bouncing from office to office, checking out character and background designs, as well as all the technical hurdles we have to overcome. There's a lot of issues to deal with in producing this game for 3 systems simultaneously.
So do you want, Tony said he thinks he could probably do all the characters in a day or 2 with 4 levels of damage. But,
really?
Yeah, just doing bases.
You think you could do all characters in a day or 2?
I bet you I could.
Oh,
I would make I cut and paste same scars and stuff. Did a damage test. Did a beat up. Tried doing a beat up version.
So this is PS2, Xbox, and GameCube.
Yes.
Yes.
Adding damage to players' faces, so you can see a sample of wounding on Sub-Zero.
Again, especially compared to 4, the technical, advancement of it is actually impressive.
Such small details like facial damage, which is something a lot of people may not notice. Yet, you know, the effort was there.
How's it coming? Right now I can give you 3 levels, Checker. Sonya's clean face. This is level 1, just a few bruises and cuts. 2, I imagine, is the
Hey,
level
yeah,
that
someone's
you're
on the
gonna
phone.
see most in the game. And then 3 should be like just insane, just over the top. Just looks good though. Yeah, that's a weird. No, I mean, I think it's cool enough that that it's worth the effort. You know. Brutal.
Damn.
You want to lunch today? I think I need to eat. Let's go get Tony or something.
Okay.
Good.
You can tell that this was early 2000s.
Yeah.
Because how often do you see this stuff nowadays?
What do you mean?
What do you mean?
These behind the scenes kind of
Yeah.
videos. Okay, the more recent example I can potentially think of was God of War 3, but that was like 2010-11.
I'd say we see stuff enough, unless you're talking specifically about behind the scenes.
Well,
on
here's the
video games
here's the
stuff.
thing. Here's the thing. Terry. If you're talking about behind the scenes being included in the games themselves, I guess then. But most of the time nowadays, video game documentaries of behind the scenes are put on YouTube itself. Like for example, God of War 4 has an entire 90-minute documentary on PlayStation's YouTube channel. Like they still do these. It's just that nowadays, since it's much more convenient to put them on YouTube.
It's through a commentator's like. It's not in this type of scale level. It's more like, hey, hello, I am. And you are listening to my audio commentary of the behind the scenes of the game. It's more DVD format. If that makes sense.
Okay, I don't think he's gonna listen to you. Yeah, exactly.
You can go, just kick right away. But you know,
There's mocap.
Bring him back.
That's Mr. Mocap to you.
Yeah, I can see that.
Alternate Shang Tsung. I'm going in on the details. And
That ass.
Deets are there, alright. Those spies.
It'll hide a lot. Let's open his eyes a little bit. It'll show you. Now, basically, you can get a lot out of a few polys if you just weigh your vertices right.
Them eyebrows.
Still not as bushy as Cortex is in The Wrath of Cortex.
Well, you were talking about Bushi, Jova. Ed Boon is a good contender.
Oh.
Okay.
Thank you.
The loop does not match like where the starting heads are. It's like you see his head right there, and then on the loop, look how far his head snaps back. I had to loop like the last bit of frames in order to make it look.
So I guess we're gonna have to figure out a way to go about connecting the each of the coffins with the amount of money spent. Right, we've got.
Yeah, pretty much. The Krypt is a shit ton of unlockable stuff that you buy from getting coins through gameplay.
So how many coffins are there in this crypt? It's a 26 by 26 array, so there's 676 coffins. That's a lot of coffins.
It's acting.
The life, man. This is the life.
So how's that motion work for you?
Oh. I guess the day was stressful.
Things move so fast during one of our typical days that before you know it, the whole day's just flown by. Usually
And that was a day at Midway Studios.
What a joy.
Oh fuck, someone stole my car.
Bye.
Yeah, it's on scene. I can't see anything.
I know this is framed like the Blair Witch Project. Like Ed Boon was kidnapped and tortured.
Alright, we
basically,
also
or
have
something.
an MK history video.
Da, 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 da. 1992.
Yep. So this game was the 10th anniversary game, basically.
In 1992, Mortal Kombat changed the world of video gaming forever. The use of digitized actors, compelling characters, and gruesome graphic effects all helped to create a phenomena that took...
Unless it was the Super Nintendo version.
A lot of people don't realize that the game was originally meant to be, you know, a quick project. I think if Mortal Kombat did not have any blood in it, it probably wouldn't have had the kind of success it did.
Fatality. Seeing people's first reaction of Mortal Kombat 1 in the arcades was pretty intense. You know, their reaction was just so over the top that, you know, they couldn't believe what they were seeing.
I mean, they're not wrong. Mortal Kombat's a fine game, but when it comes to the first game, as the Nintendo version showed, without the blood, it's not as memorable.
That's the thing, Joe, but the SNES version has even worse problems than that, as the AVGN video showed, but...
Oh, I know. My point is, like, well, though, would we have really remembered the first Mortal Kombat and, by extension, been able to make it sell enough to generate a series without the gore?
1993.
In 1993, Mortal Kombat 2 was unleashed upon a sea of bloodthirsty fans. More characters, more moves, more blood.
The biggest challenge was probably just the amount of content that we had to generate. You know, before, everything that won Mortal Kombat 1, we wanted to double. All of the fans of the first game had high expectations for the second one. The merchandising was when we really kind of realized just how big the game had become. You know, it became a lot more.
Yeah, good luck trying to sell those to kids with all the...
Yeah, Mortal Kombat launch box.
And then all the kids are going around doing the things in the playground and yelling, "Fatality!"
You know, all eyes were on us, whereas before we kind of snuck up on everybody.
But the fans would still not be satisfied.
Of course.
1995.
Pretty good year.
1995 saw the release of Mortal Kombat 3, with a diverse cast of characters, crisp graphics, and an intricate combo system.
Reality's boring. Nobody wants to pay for reality. We take everything beyond reality to the point where it's the only way to do it.
How did he get so huge?
Like Ed said, Dej, nobody...
Because he can.
Like Ed said, Dej, nobody pays to see reality, so...
It was around this time...
Actually, I do.
Gee, the one...
Kingdom Hearts 3 was bad because the humor wasn't as good as a Josh Whedon film.
It turned out to be
Also, I think I've got it.
That's an actual review, by the way.
The ones that have either the best powers or the most memorable lines back in this era of Mortal Kombat are the ones that were voiced by Ed Boon.
I like how they referenced the movie that was going on around the time.
Well, Ed Boon is a big fan of the first movie, Jova, so...
Yeah, and
the second one...
Not so much, as we saw through Johnny's bio in this game.
It's a sellable product. That's where the challenge is.
Mortal Kombat was unstoppable.
I like to assume that
And then 4 happened.
were all Johnny Cage films, and then when he got to the second one, it's like, wait, what? You're killing me off?
Oh, actually, the whole of 1997 happened for Mortal Kombat.
For broad advances in video games, and Mortal Kombat took full advantage. In 1998, Kombat, now in 3D, took on a whole new dimension.
The Mortal Kombat 4 Road Tour is something that's never been done before in the video game world. I remember these big trucks driving around with Mortal Kombat 4 logo on them.
MK4's release was again marked by controversy.
The new arcade game is causing quite a sensation.
WB56 news. Oh, the irony.
Ha, it's funny because 12 years from that report they would own them.
Clearly we must ban video games. Video games were a mistake. They're nothing but trash.
There were games that actually surpassed it. It was just the only game that really was, hugely popular and had the violence and blood.
He's not even wrong. That's exactly it.
In 1997, Hollywood produced a second.
Oh.
Hey!
We already went through this.
Yeah, we already went through this. There's we have two commentaries of it actually. So go check.
Okay, let's listen.
Well, that's the thing. Only the narrator acknowledges the second movie. Ed doesn't.
Yeah, well, that's the interesting thing. One of the more memorable bits in that movie was when Scorpion kidnapped Katana and he yelled, "Suckers!"
Of an attestment to it. I guess it's staying power, I suppose.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the bit I remember.
And
this game.
Oh, come on, Ed. Are you conveniently leaving out the amazing things that are Mythology Sub-Zero and Special Forces?
Oh, clearly. Well, I can make an argument that he's just sticking to the main series itself.
Probably.
Take the work of 3 of the previous games, put them together.
Yeah, I mean, and also, I reckon he was a bit more reluctant to leave out Sub-Zero compared to Special Forces, since Sub-Zero was the pet project of one of his closest friends.
Well, it's the thing. The Special Forces also kind of started as a John Tobias project. It's just that he left mid-development. So.
So John Tobias became the Yuji Naka of Mortal Kombat.
Kind of, except Ed never left, unlike Yasuhara and
In this
Noshima.
game we can make things look a little more real with the clavicles and neck bones that we didn't used to have in Mortal Kombat 4.
Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance debuted in Los Angeles at
This has some X-Play energy.
complete with a live show by Dejimon, performing their original song Immortal.
Pedro, you have to mute that before we get copyright.
No, don't worry, Deji. This video got exactly 0 claims. Those 10 seconds are fine. Oh, remember that. You're allowed to play like a couple seconds, just not a lot of it.
I apologize. It's because YouTube's algorithm is so BS. It's hard.
Like I keep saying constantly, the bots don't even care about your logic, but whatever.
All right. So yeah, everybody. However, we're not quite done yet. Because, as that video showed, yes, for the first time ever, we have an actual proper theme song in the game, one of the games themselves. Because, remember, for as much as we all love Techno Syndrome, aka the Mortal Kombat theme, as most people know, that theme has never actually been in any of the games. Immortal, performed by Dejimon, actually is. So basically, everybody, what you're gonna do for us, we're gonna check out that music video. So basically, unfortunately, everybody, for the reasons that Deji already said, we can't have that music video here in the part. So go ahead in the description. There, you can check the official upload of the music video, so you can just watch it there along with us. Okay, audience, just keep it at 0 and just press play when I say click, so you can watch along with us. 3, 2, 1. Click. This actually is included in the game itself, but I can't use my recording because,
It's funny because instead for MKX, NetherRealm Studios instead will use a pre-existing song from System of a Down.
I wonder.
This is like it's like a not quite Linkin Park.
Kinda.
Well, this kind of music was all the rage back in the early 2000s.
As is
Yeah,
the
Linkin
haircut.
Park didn't invent this genre.
As is the haircut that the main singer is having. Those tips,
Yeah,
man.
what's that trope called where they didn't necessarily invent it, but they made it popular?
It's called solidifying.
Mm-hmm.
Or
Yeah,
the
that.
trope codifier.
Actually,
But, yeah.
I actually really like this song though.
It really screams mid 2000s, so yeah.
Yeah, it's
I don't want you
it's
to know who I am.
it's a cool time capsule.
ATO.
Yes.
Chronica probably hated the song. That's why she eliminated this timeline.
How petty.
Yeah, all right.
I mean,
Then
would
again,
it
it's
surprise
Chronica.
me?
She's very petty.
No, that's the thing. You're telling me that she also hated Techno Syndrome?
Probably.
Well, not really. A remix of Techno Syndrome song was used for the marketing of 11.
I wish they released it because, man, that's so good.
I get the idea that
Well,
there is a bit of licensing problem
It's still,
that Rod was having.
Well, okay. Back in the day, it was released on physical CD. I don't know if anybody has ever released it digitally. Techno Syndrome, I mean.
I'm not used to stuff like Spotify, so I don't know.
Well, I can send the music to you, Dej, if you want.
Huh?
If I can send Techno Syndrome to you, MP3, if you
Oh,
want.
the remix so that they released?
Oh, the remix? That I do not have. No, I have the original though. I usually just
I have the original. I just want like the version that they made for the 11 trailer. It's really good. Like, oh.
I like. Well, the lyrics are actually not. I was like lyrics like, "I know who you are, the leader of the lost souls." So they do reference Shan song vaguely. But so you can tell that the song was indeed made, like they made it, the lyrics in the sense that, okay, you can enjoy it if you're not a Mortal Kombat fan because the lyrics don't directly, adhere to it, but at the same time, if you're a fan, you can get some extra significance from the lyrics because they vaguely mention Shan's song. Basically, this is basically what Liu Kang would say to Shan's song, like, you can't kill me, because now that I'm a soul, I'm immortal, or something along those lines.
Before he'd be saying this to Shang's song, you bastard, you killed me!
Well, look at it this way, Libs. You're a WWE fan, so you're used to lots of songs like these, because a lot of WWE wrestlers at the time had a lot of songs
like these, yeah.
Have you not listened to Edge's theme song?
Oh, I love Edge's theme song. I love that song so much.
Yes. On this day,
I see clearly. Yeah.
That was one of the best things about this recent WrestleMania, that hearing the song in front of actual bunch of crowded people.
Hell, you can even throw to "This Fire Burns" by Killswitch Engage, which is far more hardcore than this song.
or Kane's theme song, kept slow burning by Chemical by
all right, so
11.
Is that the adaptation of his regular theme?
No.
Well, regardless, there was Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance. So, Dej, what do you think?
Yeah, it looks like a step up from 4. Fatalities are probably the weakest thing. I do respect them for trying to change the status quo, but I didn't feel like, wow, let's take a dump on Liu Kang more. It's like, okay, this is what would happen if the established villains got the final word. So it's cool.
Me personally, I think it was a pretty good game. I mean, it's like I said, the fatalities are a bit of a downgrade, but everything else is pretty good. And also, aside from the ending cutscenes just being still images again. But the gameplay looks just as fast as the other ones. The graphics are really good for an early PS2 game. And fatality music aside, the music's also pretty good. Such a shame that this would end up being Dan Forden's last as a regular composer. But but overall, he's still there. It's just he's just in the background nowadays.
He's in charge, basically. He's just overseeing things.
All right. So overall, I really enjoyed this one. I'm looking forward to see how the series progresses from here.
Yes.
Even with half the creative.
Well, Dibs,
even
look
with
at.
even with half the creators not being there anymore.
Well, I can at least tell you that the next game is going to have a lot of proper cutscenes. I'm not entirely sure if you're going to like the low poly models, but they're not pictures at least.
Yeah, but that sounds like worse than PS1.
Monkey's Paw.
Monkey's Paw indeed. Alright, Jova, what do you think?
It's a good game. For the most part, it's a step up from 4. Like I said, I'm still a bit iffy on them. Okay, I do get them wanting to maybe knock Liu Kang down a peg, but I am still rather a bit split on the idea of outright killing him and not even letting him be playable in the game. Like, I feel like what they should have done was maybe have moved him to the side, but I feel like killing him off was a bit of overkill. The fatalities also, for the most part, suck in this game. Like, and you know what? To be fair, for the time when this game was made, perhaps they were pushing the system to its limits, or at least their own stress bits to its limits. So I can sort of forgive the fatalities being a bit lame, but they're still lame.
Deception has better fatalities, I can tell you that.
Yeah, I know. The music is good. Animation is good. A lot of the arcade endings feel... well, they range. Some are actually pretty satisfying. And then you get stuff like Lee Mays. Like, seriously, just... what was even the point of that character?
I don't even know, Jova. I don't even know.
Yeah. Overall, it's a good game. For the most part, a step up, but it does have a few flaws still.
Mm-hmm. Growing pains, I guess.
Definitely. Next.
2.
Sure. It's a step up technically, but I have reserves. Aside from the fatalities, there's the cast. The new additions to the cast are better compared to the one of 4, but they're like a roller coaster in quality. On one hand, you get people like Frost, Nitara, and Kenshi, which are really good additions. On the other, you get people like Limei and Suhao, which are really lame, and they barely contribute anything in terms of entertainment value. Also, I don't really like Reptile's design in this game. It looks way too different. I get the idea that each game reinvents Reptile's design as a sort of mutation that he's going for, but this one looks just not right. Again, it's clear also from that behind-the-scenes feature that the team wanted to focus mostly on perfecting, making more presentable this kind of game, rather than focusing more on the content that it had. Because again, only one fatality and that's it. There are no brutalities, no verbalities, no animalities, no friendship. No new particular thing. So it was mostly the team trying to venture into this new era. I can understand that to some degree, but like I said, it had some backfiring on that. But the game, again, at the end of the day, is still perfectly serviceable. I just don't really particularly care about it at this point because there are just better alternatives to that. But that's pretty much it. Next.
Mm-hmm. For me, yeah, it's a pretty good game, especially for its time. You can tell the primary point of this game was to establish a foundation to use for the remainder of this console generation, which it shows because in Deception things get a lot better. But at the same time, on its own merits, despite some lame characters and terrible fatalities, the game still overall really works well as a package. It definitely aged better than Mortal Kombat 4, at least. So it's as a stepping stone in for what was to come. It's a perfectly fine game for what it is. Yeah, if you can't play Deception, you're better off just playing Deception instead, of course. But Deadly Alliance is still a perfectly serviceable entry, and definitely what the series needed at the time, because people were probably waiting for, probably really wanted the franchise to step up gameplay wise and actually had the third dimension for a change. So yeah, I can definitely understand why they did this. And that's basically it. I mean, the music is great, and the graphics look great. So, and that's about it, really. There's not that much to talk about. I don't mind the endings. I think, I think the endings are fine enough as it is. As for Liu Kang, like I said, I don't mind. I personally, I'm okay with the whole Liu Kang thing personally, and that's about it. So yeah, everybody, that was Mortal Kombat 5/Vengeance, but it's actually called the Alliance at the end. However, everybody, it's okay, because it only gets better now, because tune in next time for the highlight of the PS2 generation, Mortal Kombat Deception.
See ya.
Yeah.